Hello, Sam here with our upcoming releases. Next episode, we'll be doing something a little different and talking about Star Wars Celebration, which Emily and myself went to 2 days of, all the news, panels we went to, and just our general experiences, along with discussing the 2019 comic miniseries Jedi, Fallen Order, Dark Temple, written by Matthew Rosen. In the following episode, we'll be returning to our schedule and talking about two comic miniseries, 2015's Lando by Charles Soule and 2016's Han Solo by Majori Liu.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Bum bum.
The destruction of the Death Star brought new hope to the beleaguered Rebel Alliance, but this relentless pursuit by Darth Vader and the Imperial fleet is taking its toll on Alliance resources. Now the Rebels hide in an outer rim orbit from which they can search for a more permanent base and for new allies to supply much-needed weapons and materials. Luke Skywalker, hero of the Battle of Yavin, has cast his lot with the Rebels, lending his formidable piloting skills to whatever missions his leaders assign him, but he is haunted by his all-too-brief lessons with Obi-Wan Kenobi and the growing certainty that mastery of the Force will be his path to victory over the Empire. Adrift without old Ben's mentorship, determined to serve the rebellion any way that he can, Luke searches for ways to improve his skills in the Force.
Hello and welcome to Crashing the Starfighter, the Star Wars Book Club podcast with the longest 2-week breaks imaginable. I'm Sam,
And I'm Emily.
and welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Hi Emily, what's a good thing from the past week that's happened to you?
I went to France this week. I did. I
Ooh,
just came back yesterday. Yeah.
what's France like these days?
It's French. It's
Oh
very
god,
French.
I'm
I will
sorry.
say.
No,
I
but
was
any people
yelled
our
at
French
by
listeners,
French mates. I didn't say that derogatorily. I just said it as a fact.
oh no, I said it derogatory, but that word.
You were like French in brackets derogatory.
Look, I have opinions, and most of them are French.
Then again, we're British, so we don't really have a leg to stand on with such things.
What's a leg?
You know, the things that you stand on that we don't have.
But if I don't have them, how would I know what they are?
Well, there are plenty of people that don't have legs that know what legs are because they can see that other people have them.
Is this a good bit?
Love the self-awareness there.
I...
It was actually your finest bit. That's the best bit that you've ever done.
Is this a good bit or?
It was a bit, that's for sure. It was a bit.
Oh gosh. So on Friday, I went to see a band called Area 11.
Oh, I remember Area 11.
I remembered I had a crush on the bassist Parvis, and that's now a fire anew.
Oh my god, that's such a blast from the past. Like I used to listen to them when I was a teenager. I would
Mm,
actually really like to see them. I'm actually quite jealous.
man, next tour, they're a band I would definitely see multiple times on the same tour.
Nice.
When we do another one, I'll let you
Uh,
know.
yeah, please do, because I would really like to. Speaking of bands that we enjoy that may be going on tour soon, I managed to secure myself some Fall Out Boy tickets.
Ooh, that's big news.
It's big
I didn't know
news.
they were
I have to see
touring
them every
UK.
single time. They are, yeah. They doing it later on this year, November.
Oh my gosh, who's the support? Am I going to be jealous?
Oh, I think it's Paris. I believe they said Paris. You know,
Okay,
PVRIS.
okay, I don't
I
care.
think they just say it Paris. Yeah,
I know their
but
American tour had
in
some really good supports, and I was very jealous
yes,
about that.
yes, they had Bring Me the Horizon, and also the Academy is this was apparently there.
Yeah, but I don't care. I can't remember who it was. It's one of the obscure bands I like.
I feel like we're spending too much time on this, but I really want to figure out which of the obscure bands that you like.
Okay, 1 second. Um, Fallout Boy US tour images. It was. I can confirm here the one I'm. It was Car
Car.
and Royal and the Serpent.
There's a lot of. They've got a lot of people.
Royal and the Serpent and Car were the two bands that I really want to see doing the US tour.
Yeah. No, they've. It's really weird because like Bring Me the Horizon. They could have brought Bring Me the Horizon. They're a British band. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they're big. They're US big.
Yeah, but they're big here too. I just wanted to see them.
I haven't heard of them. I have heard of them.
You're
They did the
just fucking with me.
Don't let me drown. Bury me, bury me.
I mean,
Yeah?
yes, yeah, of course,
Did I
yeah.
see with them or Jared Leto? One of the two.
That was Jared Leto. Yeah,
Okay.
I was fucking with you.
uh,
That's 30 Seconds to Mars.
okay. I only know Braun and Serpent apparently, and Area 11, and Taylor Swift.
You know what? Maybe that's for the best.
Welcome
I
to Crashing the
respect you.
Starfighter, a Star Wars podcast where we spend most of the time talking about popular music
Woo!
from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So last week, last episode, I asked a question. The question
Very
was,
important question.
what are Gonk Droids used for?
Cannot remember my answer.
Do you want to come up with a new answer?
I would like to come up with a new answer. I think that Gonk Droids are used. I think that they're merely made to be friends.
That's pretty close. Made to be friends of machinery, for they are walking batteries.
Oh, there we go.
The more you
That's
know.
adorable. The more you know.
And the name Gonk comes from the honking noise they make, which is just delightful.
That is delightful, actually. I feel like I've learned something about a very cute animal, which I love.
Cute animal, the Gonk Droid. A gigantic rectangle with legs.
Well, I'm glad that I learned it nonetheless.
Okay, I'm now going to cut away to my review, and then we'll be back.
Heirs of Jedi can be a tough read, mostly due to being written like Luke's diary. I'm not personally used to first-person books, so this made everything feel a little surreal. The main story goes all over in an unfocused way, and it will never be the first Star Wars book I recommend. That said, when it hits, it really hits, like a horror section in the first half. And there's a lot of fun to be had, especially with how this book plays with alien cultures.
Can I have your thoughts on the crawl you just read?
Yes, you can, yeah. So let me have a look at it again. Yeah, there's a lot of Luke in this. This seems to be a very, very Luke-centric thing, which makes me wonder if he is one of the heirs to the Force, plural.
Have we said which book we're looking at today yet?
I may have just said it there.
We're looking at Heir of the Jedi.
Heir of the Jedi, that's it. That's the one.
Yep. Which is a 2015 book written by Kevin Heron, which is his first and only Star Wars book. It's the third canon book, and it was originally meant to be Legends as part of the series Empire and Rebellion. But after the Lucasfilms buyout by Disney, it was moved to make it canon, and they made a few edits to the story.
That's very interesting, actually. Huh. It's
So
going
one
to
of these
be
weird
interesting.
books.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see if it's very much like if you can kind of tell that it was a Legends kind of book, you know? Yeah,
Yep.
sounds cool.
So after the events of the movie A New Hope, Luke is confused and alone, with no one to teach him the Force, and his friends all gone by different ways. He's looking for a way to have a more active role in the Alliance. So Leia is in a leadership role, and Han and Chewie are off trying to sort their debts. They've managed to lose all the money the rebellion gave them already, and we may see more of this next episode.
Oh, good.
Anyway, Luke is sent on a mission to Rhodia to help set up supply chains to get the rebellion resources. Rhodia is a planet currently under Imperial control, but it has a black market that they think could help. And Rhodia is, of course, a planet, the homeworld of Rhodians, for species that includes Greedo.
I was about to ask you that, and I thought I was going to sound really smart.
Yep, but I thought
Like,
I'd cut in there first.
yeah, because it's probably a good thing because it probably would have sounded much dumber than I thought it would do. Just like, oh, is that where the Rhodians are from? And you'd be like, yeah, no shit.
Rhodians? For Rhodians from Rhodia? Wait until you hear about from Mon Calamari from Mon Calamari.
Whoa, can't
Yep.
believe this.
So to go to Rhodia, Luke is set up with a ship called the Desert Jewel, which is an elegant red yacht built for speed, but with enough firepower to do some damage. And it belongs to Fayette Kellen, the owner of Kellen Biolabs, which is based on the desert planet of Pasha. His daughter Nakari is usually the one who flies it, but she's given it on loan to the Alliance to do some missions. So Nakari and Luke meet and they instantly bond over their similar backgrounds from desert planets and their love of flying. Nakari is like, I want to see that ship again. And Luke has to kind of stop himself before he just instantly goes, and I want to see you again, because this is just after A New Hope, Luke Skywalker, and he's a little baby.
Yeah, he's just a little baby. He's just a little teenager, and he kind of want to get some, you know.
Yep, and can you blame him? In
Can't
fact,
blame
if you
him.
go into the drive, I believe there is a
Oh,
picture of Nakari.
there is. Oh, damn. Okay,
Can you
I'm with
blame him?
Luke on this one. Yeah, can't blame him.
You're always with Luke on this one.
I'm with Luke on this one. I'm not always with Luke on everything that he does, but I don't think anyone is.
You'd have also killed Ben Solo, and you know it. Is that how that movie
Let's
went?
not go into that. I mean, it's he
Let's not go
he
into
did say.
it.
Let's not go into it. Immediately goes into it. He did say, "See you around, kid."
Luke can't speak droid yet, so Arthur has to patch into the ship's comms and speak to him through a little display screen. And on Verita Rhodia, Luke wants to make a stop because he hears there's some smugglers on planet Lanik who would be good, if they strike with steel, getting resources from Rhodia, these guys will be able to move it around. But as they exit hyperspace, he instantly sees a Capone ship being attacked by TIE fighters. He's like, these Capone guys, they've helped the rebellion before, they may be helping the rebellion now. I better save them. So he gets into this firefight, doesn't get to go to line up, but he manages to help his ship get away safe. And he's like, we got to get a rodeo quick.
Huh? Why would Tie Fighters be attacking them?
Probably that's part of why Luke interferes. He sees the TIE fighters going after him. He's like, if the Empire are against them, then the enemy of my enemy is my friend type deal.
Mm. Okay, yeah, cool.
So hopeful thinking.
Yeah, wishful
So
thinking.
Luke goes to Rhodia and lands on the continent of Batu, which is the home of the Jakku clan, and he meets Lanit Jakku. She takes him and R2 to this black market base, which is located under the ethical business Ufel Outfitters, which is of course a legitimate weapon shop, but underneath they have a less legitimate weapon shop.
I don't like how insistent you are that the above ground business is legitimate. It makes me feel like that's also not legitimate.
Legitimate ethical weapons dealer.
Par for the course.
Yep, having dinner with his New Rhodian friends, Luke's lightsaber, which he's terribly hidden, is noticed by another Rhodian called Tanchich Sunta, who sees and is like, is that a lightsaber? My uncle was a Jedi called Halleck, and he was in the organization during the Clone Wars. After that stuff went down, his body was returned here. It's at a tomb. It's weird. You're Luke Skywalker? Yeah, in the Clone Wars, he came here and he spoke about how much he liked this guy called Anakin Skywalker, who was like, apparently
Ooh.
this really cool Jedi. I was like, that's my dad. And soon it's like, whoa, really? Did he teach you to become a Jedi? He was like, no, I haven't been taught, but I did meet this guy called Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're like, Obi-Wan Kenobi, during the Clone Wars, he saved a kidnapped Rhodian kid. If you want that, you have to watch Star Wars Clone Wars. And they're just like, geeking out over Jedi stuff. And Cinta's like,
How
hey,
cool Obi-Wan is.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, total daddy, Anyway, want to go to my uncle's tomb? So
Oh,
Sunta takes Luke out to the tomb in the middle of this jungle on these bikes, and it's a test flight to see if Rebellion's interested in buying them. They land near the tomb, and instantly one of the bikes is just destroyed by this giant swamp monster called a guest. Like,
ooh,
imagine the creature from the Black Lagoon, but giant with claws.
oh.
Luke and Sunta have to
Uh,
kind of go into the tomb to like hide from it, and inside the tomb, Sunta gets out Huluk's lightsaber and is like, "Here you are."
That's just yeah. There you go. Straight up,
Here
you
you
can
are.
have this. Here you are.
And he turns it on, it's purple, it's really cool, and he goes out and he attacks the guest. He has two lightsabers and he's swinging them wildly. Not really sure what he's doing. Manages to take the guest out, but not before taking a hit himself to the shoulder.
Ooh.
So Sunta comes out with like, a camera phone and takes a picture of a dead guest and takes a picture of a destroyed bike. So, insurance, gotta cover yourself. We didn't crash this bike, it was destroyed by this creature, they can get that back. And then they both get on the remaining speeder and fly back to the ethical black market business.
They just took some pictures for like Rebellion HR for them to go through.
It's like a small detail. I love how like the first thing they do, come out of the tomb, just snap some shots.
Just yeah, why not? It's like okay, so an incident took place here, and maybe we destroyed one of these bikes. But here's also another picture of me and my new friend and our lightsabers just doing a
Yep.
thumbs up by the corpse of this swamp monster. uh,
So Luke's taken back to the Luke's taken to the infirmary as soon as they get back, patched up, goes to his room. First thing he does is take apart Huluk's lightsaber to look inside, see how it works, and just instantly destroys it.
great idea, Luke. Wow.
Because lightsabers are hell to put together. You need the force to do it. And
Oh my God, Luke.
so that's why he doesn't have a purple lightsaber in anything else.
It'd be really funny if he just chucked away the blue one and he was just like, nope, don't need this anymore. And then he just became a purple lightsaber boy. And then
You have to
everyone was
go
just
back
like,
for
hey,
every.
where's your dad's lightsaber? And he'd just be like, I don't know, in a swamp.
In the current comics, they've just given him a yellow lightsaber for a space because he loses his lightsaber at Bespin, and like I'm waiting a moment where he suddenly loses that and gets a green one because he
Yeah,
needs a
that's
green
the
one for the
thing.
next movie.
Yeah, if they ever want to give Luke, they're like, oh, it would be so cool if we had like Luke holding like a yellow lightsaber. They're like, yeah, we should put that in the comics. And then they're just like, yeah, but we have to make him lose it because we've given him something that's much cooler than the thing he has in the next episode of the films. So he
Let's make
has
him
to get
lame
rid of it.
again.
We have to make him lame again. So
It's Luke
for
Skywalker. That doesn't
canon,
take much.
that's very true.
So Luke comes out of the room and Lani tells him that the Empire have put planet-wide alert on the Desert Jewel because it's been causing some mischief in the local sector. Probably shouldn't have got involved with those components, Luke.
Oh, Luke.
And because of this, they have to cut their dealing short. Uh, of course, the coup plan would happily work with Rebellion in the future, but right now, get off the planet, Luke. So Luke returns to
Mm.
the Rebel fleet, and he just he apologizes to Akbar, apologizes to Leia. I'm sorry, but I met these components. Like, we know you did. It's a good thing you saved them. They're really important. They've come to
Oh,
us with
whoa.
some important info, and they found out that the Empire have an informant who is a given cryptologist called Drusil Beforian. Now,
Now that is very important.
the given, if you look in your pack, there is a picture of a given.
Oh, let's have a look.
They're these guys who are.
It's the silence from Doctor Who.
It's for science from Doctor Who. As a race,
If
they
you
just
if you
love math.
if you don't know what this man looks like, if you're listening to this and you've never seen this species before, basically, please, I want you to the rest of the episode to just imagine the silence from Doctor Who.
And if you don't know what science from Doctor Who look like, just look up a given. And
I imagine that
it
of
works
course
both
they
ways.
do. They're our target audience. Of course they
I,
know what the silence looks like.
I mean, I can't remember what the silence looked like.
You can't. Well, they look like the given.
I mean, I know I've seen one, but I've forgotten.
They basically, so they're like very tall.
It,
They look like
but,
Slender
but
Man.
because when you look at it and you look away, you forget.
Yeah, it's kind
It's
of the same sort of
it,
deal.
it,
They
it it's
look
a
like
bit. It's a bit, Emily.
it's a bit, it's a bit. Oh no.
It's a
Oh
bit.
God, I forgot it was a bit. It was a bit the whole time. Oh no.
You've been a
Oh
bit all
no.
along. There is no
Oh,
podcast.
I've been bamboozled. Oh, I can't believe
So
this, Sam. I forgot.
they have information that this given cryptologist is like being held prisoner by the Empire. They're holding her family hostage, and she wants out. And
Okay.
given are these creatures who math is basically their life. They're massive nerds. And among given, Drusel is exceptionally talented at math to a point, but she seems psychic. She can just look at numbers and look at probabilities and instantly work out what things are going to be where.
She's like that kid from that M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yep, no idea which one you're talking about. There's so many of them, but yep.
Okay. I think he has reused that trope more than once. So yes, let's go.
They want to send Luke to go save her while another team goes to get her family. And Leia assigns Bren Drellin, who is this guy from some of the later movies. He's in some other stuff. Don't worry about him. He's not really in this book. To save Drusel's family, while Luke is sent to the planet of Denon, which is where Drusel herself is kept, along with the desert jewel, R2D2, and Nakari. That's right. Luke and Nakari are going to be spending more time together.
Oh, I think she realised that she was never going to see that ship again if she wasn't involved in this.
Yeah, I mean, how good is this pilot?
I mean, Luke is just about to crash an X-wing immediately after this story concludes. So
He's about to crash everything.
this is true.
So they want to refit the desert jewel to make it less noticeable and give it more of a punch. But Rebellion doesn't have funds. But Akari says that her dad is always looking for people to do work for him. So she says, we can do a job for my dad, create biolabs, get some money, and then get upgrades and do this mission. And Agbar agrees with it. He's like, great idea, but Leia has doubts. She's like, hey, be careful, Luke. Not everyone who betrays you looks like Darth Vader.
Smart. I'd listen to Leia.
So Luke and Akari visit her dad Fayette on Pasha, their homeworld, and before they do their meeting, Nakari does an impression of her dad, jokingly calling everyone minions and being like, "Ha ha ha ha, minion, bring me my calf." And when it turns out he does actually refer to all his workers as minions, Luke just instantly laughs at him
No.
and kind of sours his first impression.
Oh my god, she basically just outed her dad as like the most Tory of people. Just
He does
the
it
worst
lovingly.
dude. He does
Yeah,
it
but
lovingly.
it's this bit where he'd like minion, bring me my calf. And also,
I'm
give a best to your wife and son. I hope he's doing well with the flu he was down with. Like, he knows everything about his employees. He, like, loves them. He just
oh,
calls them all minion. Because
I know
power
what
trip?
he's like. Yeah, he's one of those bosses that comes up to you and thinks they're really funny and will be like, "Oh, ha ha ha, oh, don't do that. I'll have to fire you." Ha ha ha, like
Puts
stuff
their
like that.
arm
But secretly
around
you're
you. Ah,
yeah.
no thank you.
But secretly you're just like, haha, very funny dude, like you're my boss. Haha, I get it. That's why it's funny. But kind of stop doing these things.
Yep. But please delete my number. It is a Sunday.
Yes, please forget I exist.
I've told you to delete me from my phone contacts.
He's just like, hey, I saw you went on Teams on Sunday. What's up with that?
You told me to. You said I'd be
It's like,
fine if I
no,
didn't.
and he's just like, oh, haha, that's what I do to all my minions. Haha.
Please. Please, leave me alone. I quit. I quit.
Wait, how is this turned into a roleplay?
Always has been.
Always will be.
By the way, I quit. This is your podcast now.
Oh no, I don't know anything about Star Wars.
I guess this Starfighter is crashing.
Oh god, we always said it would happen someday.
So Fate gives them a collection job. We have to go to Planet Vex. It's a world which could be interesting for his bioengineering, but he
Ooh,
wants to keep it on the down low. So getting his daughter to go is really good because he trusts his daughter, doesn't trust those anyone who's other employees could be a spy. And he
those
gives them some
minions.
special prototype for his minions. He gives them some special prototype armor and a sunstick. And while we're getting on their ship, one of the other scientists just put on that armor and practice somersaults in it because it'll be good.
Why not? Have a
So
laugh.
they get on the ship, they watch a little video briefing where it turns out that they're going to this planet to get the collection crew, which was sent there to get the original exhibition. So there are third people
That's
going to the
never
planet
good.
because the first load never returned, second load never returned. And on this planet, there is a local predator called the Skullborer. What do you think the
Oh,
Skullborers do?
I think it's got something to do with people's heads.
Just following through of pop culture references, imagine a head crab from those games of head crabs. I want to say Mass Effect, but it's not Mass Effect.
Do you,
Um,
oh my god, do you mean Half-Life?
Half-Life, that's the one. It's been a long week.
I'll forgive you, it's fine.
And the thing that makes them really fun is they have a natural cloaking ability, so they can turn invisible, drop on your head, and just bore through your skull in seconds. And
Oh god.
Luke and Akari watched this video from the original exhibition of people just having their skulls eaten by these guys.
Oh god, why would anybody go there?
Good question. Because money. After seeing the video, Luke and Akari make some food, but it turns out they're both awful cooks. Like Luke burns for the Nerf steak they're having, and Akari overcooks vegetables, and they just laugh and bond over how bad the meal is. But Akari's like, well, make the most of it because this is the last meal we're going to have in a while. I personally like to not eat
Oh,
another meal until the job's done, to try and motivate me to get the job done quicker.
wait, that Queen, that is very unhealthy.
We're,
I'm
we're,
gonna
we're
ask
going we're
you
going to be
to not do
eating
that.
protein shakes from now on.
Oh, Queen, please, you don't have to do this to yourself. Please don't punish yourself this way.
After they've eaten, they put on the suits, and it turns out they're really heavy and easy to unbalance with. So they have another laugh. That guy told us to do somersaults in them. Luke leans forward, and he instantly loses balance, which causes Nakari to laugh. And when she laughs, she tips her head back, and then she loses balance.
Oh,
It
this
takes
is
some
their meet
time.
cute, isn't it?
It takes some time to practice their stability in these suits, and they try whacking each other in the head with a stun stick to see how much of a punch they pack and also how strong the armor is. Which, when you're given prototype armor, it's like Elon Musk with the Cybertruck, just instantly throw things at the glass. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, why not? What could go wrong?
They arrive on Vex and they see the harvester of the previous collection crew. Decide to land next to it, spend a little time on planet surface as they can, just running straight to the ship and go inside to see some specimen containers. 5 of them shattered,
Ooh, that's never a good sign.
broken from
That
the inside because the glass is on the outside.
ooh, no, no. I
So
would turn around and
they're like,
go.
huh, maybe when we came onto the ship, the Skullbore was all left. Maybe there's none here. And they walk through the ship, they're looking for the dead crew, and they instantly find them. They go into a room, dead guy on the floor. Uh, Luke realizes they came for a closed door to come in here, and has a moment of, oh my gosh, if the door was closed, wouldn't it probably still be in here? And I kind of was like, no, it's fine. We don't know how clever these guys are. They may be smart enough to use doors. And just instantly brushes it
Curry.
away. And then they go room to room throughout the ship. Not attacked for a while, luckily, but find the bodies with their skulls eaten out, piling up. And it turns out, they have the skull borers in these locked up. They thought we were safe, so we weren't wearing the armor. And that's when they got them.
Can I ask
So
a
last,
question?
yes, go for it.
So you said that the Skullboros were like head crabs from Half-Life.
Yep,
Do
from
they
Mass
just like
Effect.
try and yeah? Do they like when they bore through the skulls?
Hmm.
What do they do? Do they like eat the brains or do they control
Oh,
people?
they eat the brains. They're not that much like head crabs. That was a bad
Oh,
analogy. I
okay.
apologize.
They No, that's all right. I was just curious if they like control people, if we had to worry about headcrab zombies.
Thankfully not.
Thankfully not. Thank God.
The last room to check is the med bay. They go in, find the last member of the crew, and Nakari goes in, Luke follows, and as he goes in, he feels a thud on his head and starts hearing a
Ooh.
drill. He takes the stun
Oh.
stick and whacks up, and like it, the noise, the drilling stops momentarily, then it starts again, and he realizes what's happened is that two of these guys jumped on him at the same time, and he got one on top, but he
Oh.
can't stun the one underneath because there's a stunned Skullborer on top of it. So he has to like aim his blast for his own head, hoping not to hit himself. Shoots
Oh
and manages to get it
Christ.
off. Yeah, it's horrifying.
That's actually
Nakari,
like that's like some Dead Space shit.
yep. This is like my favorite section of the book because of the horror vibes are immaculate.
Yeah, this is cool.
Nakari is like walking around. They realize there's five out there. She sees another one, so she goes to shoot it. And as she pulls up her gun, something lands on her hand and starts drilling into her wrist.
Ooh.
And they deduce that like because they saw Luke, fight him away using his hand, using his stun-stick and gun, they now know to take out the hands first.
Oh my God, they're smart. Oh, I hate them.
But luckily Nakari like manages to use the stun stick in her other hand to get it off that hand, and then something lands on the stun stick hand. She gets the blaster hand and shoots it off. It's like horrible, but they managed to get rid of all five
Yeah.
Skullborers. Afterwards, Luke comes in with like a little personal, a little movement tracker, makes sure the ship is empty, and they decide the easiest way to get this crew back is to just take the whole ship. They slave its navigation system to the Desert Jewel, get us to fly the Desert Jewel back, and both ships go back to Pasha.
Ugh. Thankfully, crisis averted. No more of those guys.
Fayette pays them for their work, and is already like, "Oh, this is interesting. Maybe I could go there and I can make some cloaking technology using their natural cloaking ability." So he's already planning to go back to that planet,
I hate capitalism.
and Nakari points out they need somewhere to refit the Desert Jewel with some new stuff, and Luke suggests Rhodia. I mean, he was just there. He's made a contact there. Might as well use them. So Luke and Nakari take the Desert Jewel to Rhodia. They land on the landing platform. There's this really angry Rhodia mate. He's like, "You weren't booked in to be here. What do you think you're doing?"
Well, this ain't their first rodeo.
Luke comes down from the landing pad and he's like, "Hey, I know Tanich. We're cool." And Miss Rhodian's just confused, like, "No one called Tanich works here. You're not booked in for appointment. Go away." And Luke decides now is a perfect time to practice his Jedi mind trick.
Ooh.
"You will take us to Tanich," he says. "Like I said, there's no Tanich that works here." Okay, when Obi-Wan did it, he did a little hand gesture. So, his little
No.
hand gesture, "You will take us to Tanich." "How many times do I have to?" And Akari's just so embarrassed, like, "Luke, he doesn't know
Oh.
this Tanich person. Can we go?" And
The secondhand embarrassment is real.
Luke, "One last time, you'll take us to Tanich." "Look, do I need to call security?" And Luke and Akari turn around, go back into the ship. Just that moment, Ferodian gets a little signal on his comm. "Oh, never mind. Tanich will see you now."
Ooh.
And Tanisha's like, "Hey, so the black market stuff is on a need to know basis. That guy didn't need to know. Please, if you're coming in future, let us know in advance. Uh, because now that guy knows whether we like it or not. But using the
Oh, this is
money
so cringe
from
worthy.
using the money from the job on Vex, they outfit the Desert Jewel with some new weapons. They upgrade it from a single laser cannon to three. They give it six
Three?
concussion missiles. They give the ship
Whoa.
flares, and they give it an Ufru Rock Crusher Compact Seismic Charge.
Holy shit. I really hope, well, obviously they're going to, but I really hope they use that later, because that sounds cool as hell.
And also a new paint job, so it's not as noticeable.
I mean, it probably was really cool red, so I'm sad about that.
Yep, it was, and now it's I can't remember what color it was.
Probably like
Probably lame.
silver. Yeah.
A beige.
A beige. It's taupe now.
A dark beige.
It's just off-white, you know?
So we get back on the desert duel, and instantly Luke's like, "Hey R2, scan and make sure we haven't put any trackers on us." Nope. Okay. They go to rendezvous with the Rebel fleet in the Pantora system. So on back for Rebel fleet, Akbar lets the team know that on Denon they have to meet with a Kupian called Saket, who owns a noodle hut. When they get there, they have to order the Corellian buckwheat noodles with Rancor sauce, as that's like the code
Sounds
word.
really nice.
Luke is disgusted by the idea of Rancor sauce, but it's Star Wars. Why does Rancor
It's
sauce
Star
sound
Wars.
disgusting to him?
I I mean, like, it depends. Like, I mean, Rancor sauce could mean a lot of things,
It could,
shall
but
we say?
just the fact of like he hears Rancor sauce, that's his line.
That's where he draws the line. Yeah, he's like, actually, I'm done with that. Like, that's actually the grossest thing that I've ever heard of.
Anyway, Skahet has some information for them, and that will help Luke and Nakara with the extraction. And as given a so into maths, there is formal greeting maths that they need to learn to like give Drusel
It's my worst
when they
nightmare.
meet her to like let her know they're on the level. So Leia gets 3PO to teach Luke some phrases that he has to memorize exactly, but she makes sure that Luke doesn't ever ask a given to do linear approximations of non-linear partial differential equations, as it can be seen as an insult. If you ask a given for approximation, it shows a lack of faith in their maths.
But I thought that only a Sith dealt in absolutes.
Sith and
I'm
given.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry to everyone, actually.
In contrast, given usually asks non-given greeting math, which has the answer free. So, it's like an M thing. If you know a given, you know to answer free, and it won't embarrass you.
So you'll be like, what's 9 divided by 3? And then they'll be like, hello there. Well met.
No, if you ask a given that, they will never speak to you again.
What? What do you mean?
You have to give the given the most complex math you can think of, and then the given in return
Oh,
will give you greeting maths. And without thinking about it, you can just say, free? Because if you're not a given, the answer is probably free.
I get what you mean now. Yes, sorry, I'm dumb.
Free.
3.
So, on the journey to Denon, we get some sweet Nikari backstory, and the reason she's in the rebellion uh, is because her mum was sent to the spice mines of Kessel. So,
I was
Emily,
literally just about to ask
why
if
do you
it's to do with her
think
mum.
why do you think Nikari's mum was sent to the spice mines of Kessel?
Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good, and I'm not gonna get that. I'm gonna say because she wanted to be a crime boss.
She wanted to be a crime boss. She wanted to be in an office and said, "Hey, how can I become a crime boss?" And they just instantly locked her up.
Instantly, they were like, send this woman to the spice mines.
But she still has more of a rep than Boba Fett.
Oh, okay, I'll bite. Why does she? Why was she sent to the spice mines?
Bakari's mum was in a band called Hako Draslip and the Tootle Fruits. This
Holy
band
shit!
produced a song called Vader's Many Prosthetic Parts, which Luke's a big fan of.
No,
And because of this, the Empire just sent the whole band to the spice mines.
no. The best Star Wars fact I've ever learned.
That's right. Nakari's mum was officially a Tootle Fruit.
She was a toodle fruit. Vader's many prosthetic parts, huh?
Yep.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
This book is a ride. You go from the horror of the Scarboroughs to Vader's many prosthetic parts in like
I'm
3
really enjoying
chapters.
this one. This is a good one. I'll say that.
Looks like Vader's many prosthetic parts. Do you know my dad was killed by Vader? In a way, I guess the Empire freed us both. You by
Mm,
like looking up your mum, and your dad can't actively oppose him, but you can, And me, well, the Empire killed my aunt and uncle, so I'm now free to do what I want.
Great way to look at it, Luke.
We talk some more, and Luke's like, gets on like, hey, by the way, babes, I want to be a Jedi. And Nakari's a bit cynical of the Jedi. She's like, do you think there could be some truth in what the Empire say about the Jedi? Luke, of course, objects. So Nakari jokingly is like, oh, wait, you don't think the suppression of information is a good thing? And Luke just replies, yeah, and you won't believe this. I'm starting to think the Death Star wouldn't bring peace to the galaxy. Yeah, but it would just bond in.
What?
They're getting close. And Luke opens up, but he heard Ben's voice during Battle of Yavin. He feels lost with no one to guide him, and at the end of his conversation, Nakari promises to help Luke find someone to teach him to be a Jedi when this mission's complete.
Hmm.
So Denon is a giant city world, like Coruscant, and Luke describes the ships moving across the surface as bugs pollinating the flowers which are the buildings.
That's very poetic. I wouldn't expect that of Luke.
I would expect it from someone who grew up in the desert.
No, yeah. I mean, how experienced can he be with flowers at this point? It's not been too long.
What does that mean? Sounds dirty, but I'm trying to work out how it's dirty.
This...
How's it dirty, Emily?
It's not dirty. It's not dirty. I just like, you know, when like Ray sees like, you know, they go to like whatever the hell that world's called. I can't remember what the
Takadana.
world's called, but it's not the point. They go to Takadana, and she's just like, oh, I didn't know there was this much green in the whole galaxy.
And it
And
cuts and there's
you
just
know,
the Millennium Falcon's cockpit on a green screen.
stop reminding me of that. I'm trying to make a point. It's like oh, how many flowers has he seen, and how does he know that like bugs like flowers? Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna let it go.
They land, they leave R2 in the hotel, and they head straight to the noodle bar. Nakari looks at the menu and wants the Nerf nuggets, which means that Luke gets the buckwheat noodles and rancor sauce. So he goes, orders it, and he's told to pick up his food at the window, and on his receipt there's a little order number in the top, and then in the bottom there's return at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Oh,
So Nakari's there teasing Luke, hope you enjoy your rancor sauce. But in the end, my number's called. It turns out we're just given 2 lots of Nerf nuggets.
hey, good for
Nakari and
him.
Luke are like sitting down. It's like a Wagamama's where they're shared seating. So they end up sitting next to a pair of Gans, who are the guys
Yes,
with like multiple eyes on stalks.
I know the guys. I don't know them by name, but now you've said that, I know the guys.
And they're talking about the Force again, and Luke's talking about how he should be able to move things from using his mind. So Nakari gets the noodle and was like, "Hey Luke, scoot it over to me." And then she makes a show of like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to pay attention." She's like, I'm just enjoying these noodles, not paying attention to anything around me. I hope no one uses the Force nearby." My dudes, you're on a shared seating table talking openly about the Force. Why are you doing
My
this?
guy. Yeah, like the thing is though that these two are perfect for each other because they have no brain cells between them. Absolutely zero.
I love episode 4, Luke. He's such a baby.
You can call him a himbo, it's okay.
Himbo god. Anyway, so Luke closes his eyes, imagines Noodle moving all the way over to Nakari's bowl. Nakari cheers and like, you did it, you did it. He opens his eyes. It's barely moved. It's like it's described as like the sine wave it's in changing. But it earns Luke the title of Little Noodle Scooter.
Oh, why didn't they keep that?
My name is Little Noodle Scooter Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Oh my god.
So next
I'm
they go
little
back to
noodle
the
scooter
cats.
Skywalker.
What's your name? Ray Little Noodle Scooter.
But who are your people?
The Little Noodle
I don't
Scooters.
have a people.
Han
Han
Noodle Scooter.
Scooter. How did we both do that? Oh no.
We're cursed. They go back
We
to
are
Kess
cursed.
the next morning, and in Caporan society, jewelry is used to tell someone's story, And Saget has earrings, which show her she's more accomplished than you'd expect a noodle vendor to be. And she briefs him on Drusill's movements and gives him a bit of information on the guard rotations, the usual schedule of Drusill's movements. So it's meant to go off. The actual extraction is going to be up to Luke and Nakari to work out.
Okay.
She also says she's packed in a little extra, and you can unlock it using the code word Rancor Source, which still weirds Luke out for some reason.
Again, it's not that weird, but I'm
Hmm.
more curious about what this little something she's packed is.
Luke and Nakari go about doing mess events. They get some outfits, they get some makeup, and they do some disguises. They start following Drusilla around, and when Luke first sees a given, he describes their look as that of a sad skeleton.
Have seen the picture, can confirm. Very
Really, he
accurate.
should have just said, "Hey Nakari, that guy looks like the Silence from Doctor Who."
Ooh.
Oh well. Oh, Luke, you little noodle scooter. Nakari. Oh well. Call me Luke Skywalker.
Luke's. Why have we done this?
For our own pain. Drusilla goes into a park, and she seems to be meditating in the middle of this park, and she has this security guards around her and a droid watching over her. At one point, these kids are playing a ball when it goes too close, so this droid just blasts it and obliterates it. And Luke and Nakari go back to the hotel room. They're looking over plans. And they work out the best time to get Drusilla is when she will be at her favorite cafe in 2 days' time, which gives them time to prep. And they're talking about getting R2 an upgrade. The day before their operation, they inform Major Derlin to extract Drusilla's family. And the next day, they go to extract the Given. Luke is in the sewers underneath, and he gets the beeps from R2, which show what plan's about to go. And R2 uses his new stun gun that comes out the top of the dome
Hell
and
yeah.
stuns the droid, takes it out. Nakari starts sniping the other guards. Luke comes about the sewers. Drusilla, follow me! And they go into the sewers together. And Luke gives her the most complicated math question you've ever heard, to which she answers in seconds. And Luke's like trying to distract because he's not a question in response. He's like, "Well, we better go this way quickly. Hurry up. Don't mind me. Let's go this way." Constantly talking. And she's like, "But before you go any further, what is this?" And it's like describing the book as math, the math of this math. Luke just doesn't understand it at all. In the end, he's like, takes a moment, touches his chin. 3? Yep, fine. And they continue moving through the sewers.
Incredible.
Luke is like talking about a direction like, okay, so we have to take the first left. And he's like, oh, the first left. We've just gone past it. Turns out Given have amazing night vision. So Luke starts giving her the instructions and she's leading the way. We're attacked by these sewer creatures, and then Luke pulls out his lightsaber. And then the security who are looking after Drew to come after them. Nakari meets them at the sewers and starts taking them out. It's all good. They exit, get in the speeder bike, go back to the desert jewel, and get into atmosphere.
Well, that was easy.
Yep, it's fine. There's an Imperial fleet in the sky. I'm just finding where I am in my notes.
As they often are.
So Luke tries to test Drusil's skills on their escape by getting her to work out what the Imperial fleet will do to stop them leaving. But he realizes the only way to test this theory would be for them to get into a fight. So he has to abandon that idea, manage to jump away, and Drusil's there next to him like, hey, do you want me to work out the jump coordinates? And Luke, not trusting her, is like, I prefer R2 to do it, but if you'd like, you can check his maths. And Druce was delighted by it.
Okay.
She's like, "Ah, yes, I love math. I will check your your dumb idiot droid's workings out. Make sure he doesn't
Hey,
get
be
us
nice
killed.
to him. Oi.
Dumb
That's
idiot
R2.
droid."
Be nice to him. What?
And while they're in
Okay, I don't like this
hyperspace,
lady anymore.
Luke goes to controls and he practices meditating, and he feels Drusilla doing her own form of either prayer or math or something weird, and he senses Nakari and she feels happy, and he looks ahead at their destination, and he feels antagonism. And R2 gives a little alert saying they're about to arrive. And Nakari comes back into the cockpit, and Luke turns to her and staring at her to see if she looks happy, to see if his senses were right. And that's when she catches him staring and goes, "You're pretty obvious, you know. And this isn't the first time I've caught you looking. It's the first time I let you know." Lucifer, like,
Oh,
oh, do you think the Jedi? Do you think the Jedi have a trick to stop you feeling awkward?
oh no, Luke! Oh God!
And at that moment, they drop out of hyperspace, and Luke instantly remembers that he was sensing danger, goes to controls alert, and there are 20 pirate ships, and they start following them. Luckily, thanks to Freudian defenses, they managed to hold their own and they're back in hyperspace before taking too much damage. And Nakari picks up the conversation of, "You're being pretty obvious, Luke, but you're still missing some hints, so let me be clear." And she leans in and kisses him on the cheek.
Oh,
And Luke's like, "Hey, I like that thing when you kiss me." So they go to kiss again. Messenger comes in over the comms. She's like, "Oh, I was looking at the pirates' distribution, and it seems like they were scouting. They probably already knew we were coming. So it means that along this route we're currently on, the Empire may be alerted that we're heading this way." And Luke kind of, shrugs it away. He doesn't trust this given yet. What can maths actually do?
Luke.
Goes to the kitchen, feeling pretty smug. He's making the curry some calf, but it's the worst calf he's ever made. He just like tries to add more sugar and milk to try and hide the flavor and make it salvageable. Uh, that's when suddenly the ship is lurched out of hyperspace before its destination by an interdictor cruiser. Luke asks R2 for a way out of the system. You know, like like Russo said, if they continue on the path they were on, the Empire probably there waiting, so we have to find a different route off. And R2 suggests going to Kupo, which is the Caporan's homeworld.
Okay.
Luke thinks it's a good idea, so he raises the shields. He's like, "We have to destroy one of the gravity well generators on this interdictor cruiser, which is blocking that escape vector." Nakari is thinking this is crazy. Why are you going to attack an interdictor? Luke's like, "Ah, maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe the TIE fighter pilot's on lunch." He has this little aside to like something Han taught him about fighting. Like you can't run into a fight hoping things will work out. You have to go into a fight knowing things will work out and make them work. And I
So
say,
like he'll. Oh,
taking
sorry.
advice from Han is not smart, Luke. You're better than
Yeah,
this.
I was about to say he'll take advice from Han and not from the like super maths prodigy who's so good at maths that she can basically predict the future.
Yeah, why do you do that? Where he flies towards the gravity generators. The tires coming out. He gets into a dogfight, which damages one of the engines on the desert duel. They manage to use concussion missiles to take out the shield generator, destroying shield generator, protecting the gravity well generator, and then using the rock crusher seismic charge to destroy the generator. And the generator is
Ah,
like
finally.
reactor exploding, takes out not only the interdictor, but also all the ties.
Hell yeah. That's a W.
As they jump back into hyperspace, Drusil's there, and she's like, "Ah, interesting. The Jedi seem to be a kind of fulcrum variable that make for improbable probable." And just, she's totally into maths around Jedi and the Force.
Hmm. I thought she didn't like uncertainty sort of things. You know, she likes absolute answers.
Yeah, it's if you ask if you ask a given for an approximation, it implies that they do not know the answer to a question. But
Oh.
Drusil's whole thing is like looking at patterns and things. A pattern she's seen around Luke is that he makes he makes the odds he makes impossible odds possible. It's like his deal. So so this is what all Jedi did.
Okay, fair enough. That's also a fair assumption about the Jedi as well.
It makes a question like, is the galaxy a more reasonable place now most of the Jedi are dead? Just mathematically, can you
Oh,
prove that?
interesting. It's kind
It's
of a
not in the
nerd
book.
question.
I'm just asking it now. I'm asking you, Emily. You have the answers.
You're asking me.
Yeah,
Oh God. I'm. Yes. Yes.
good.
Absolutely.
So
Luke's
Kubo
about to
has
fuck that all up.
Luke's about to fuck something.
Hey.
Kubo has no imperial presence, but the planet is known for its hard winds. Like there are creatures who live their whole life cycle in the breeze, We have to build these special walls just to make it safe for ships to land. Um, they go into atmosphere, try and fight it, try and fight to get low enough to fly safely, and they use the code Rancor source to unlock Saquet's packet, and it's full of Capoan contacts. So they find one called Azernezin, and we get on a call with him. Luke stumbles through the codes until he's given a place to land. He asks R2 to work out an approximate arrival time, but Jerusalem's instantly like, it will take 3 hours flying at this speed to get there. Go, Jerusalem, do your maths.
Yeah, you go. I bet R2's pissed as hell right now.
Of course. We love that for R2.
We love that for R2.
Nakari's worried, but their engine seems pretty busted, and they spent their money on Rhodia, so how will they be able to buy a new one? Luke assures her works something out, and Drusel suggests trading information. She's a great mathematician. She can probably work out the Imperial fleet movements in this sector for the next few cycles, stuff like that. And it's at this point that Drusel suggests that they scan the ship as well, because she thinks there would have been some tracking software uploaded to it since they arrived in Planet's atmosphere. And Luke gets Arthur to check, and sure enough, there is some hostile tracking software in their ship's logs. Arthur deletes it, but Luke is now suspicious enough about Drusel to, confront her. She's just like, so we've reached the time when you actually suggest I'm a spy. I've been waiting for this. I thought it was most probably would happen earlier, but that now works for me. And she just instantly outs that, yes, I know that the rebel fleet was near Pantora recently. And just like, I didn't tell the Empire this, but I know based on stuff, maths and
Based on maths.
Yeah, based on maths, I know it. Didn't tell the Empire. Surely that buys me a bit of goodwill. And Luke's like, fine.
Luke's so funny. He's like, Nakari's cool. She's hot. I'd like to bang her. But then he's just like, this very
this
helpful
person's
alien.
like a
I'm not so
skull.
sure.
I bet they're evil.
I don't want to bang this. I bet they're evil.
This is gross. Okay, but they land at Nessun Carrier and Cargo, and Azor greets him to leave the ship, and he's very angry that the Empire he knows who they are. It's all over the comms. The Empire's gonna come looking for them. It's gonna be costly. That engine's busted. Getting an exact replacement would take time, but we don't have. But he agrees to get them a lesser alternative, which will arrive in a couple of days. Just get it transported and fitted. But how are they going to pay? Drusel offers the Imperial movements, not good enough. They offer a few more things, none of it's good enough. And Nakari finally offers the information on Vex.
Ooh.
Azor takes this, and he takes a bit of time to try and find someone who's interested in buying it. Manages to find a contact. Yep, that's good enough. And agrees to get the engine for them sorted. But we have a couple of days on Capoe to wait.
Okay.
They go into their little dorm place, and Drusel starts looking into Azor's employees because Capoans, because of the winds on the planet, they have incredibly good hearing. To hear over high winds, which is why they're such good spies.
No, that's fair. That's a fair point to make.
One of the things I like about this book actually is how into the little details about the different races it goes.
Yeah.
Like the jewelry meaning rank, and the good hearing because of the wind, and the whole math society just interests me. I want more given in Star Wars.
Yeah. Honestly, it's introduced a lot of interesting little aliens that sometimes you see sometimes the races get introduced and it's I don't really care about these people. These don't feel like an interesting society or something, but I want to know about the maths people. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Give me given a Star Wars story.
Give me given. Give me given or give me death.
Luke and Nakari go out to hit the town together. But they need a little passphrase when they come back. And Drusel suggests is really excited by the idea of making a passphrase. Comes up with one, and it's a bunch of math and confuses everyone. And like a little while later, we're walking around, and Nakari starts laughing. He's like, "Oh, I get it. It's an algebra joke." And Luke's just still confused. Drew's manages to find
Oh,
out one of Azor's employees, who is another Capone called Mig Burkett, has been talking to the
good name.
Empire. So Luke and Nakari go to track him down. They find him outside a cantina, manage to stun him without much issue, but decide to put him over their shoulders and, pretend he's their drunk friend and get him back to the hotel room. They're walking towards a taxi speeder, and that's when this Goffle, which is one of the goat guys, called Barisk Favin, comes over and is like, "Hey, where are you taking him?" I'm like, this is our buddy. He's a bit drunk. Leave us alone. But because I've said this Goffle's name, he's not going to leave him alone. He's important to the story. That's right. He is Mig's Imperial contact.
No way!
So Nakari and Luke have managed to take down this Goffle. I'm gonna have two stun people. They get him in the taxi, take him back to the hotel room, and Luke leaves Nakari to go sort them out. And he asks the taxi droid, "Hey, by the way, I really like climbing. Do you know a place I can get some new climbing gear, such as rope and rope? Not to tie people up, but for climbing." He
Just
goes
for
and gets some
climbing
rope, and
and rope.
comes back. They tie up their prisoners, but they make sure they have like a hollow channel on so they get entertained, and like a bunch of food and drink. They put R2 on guard, but like if you need anything, ask him and he'll tell us. We're making sure the prisoners are looked after.
Yeah.
Uh, but the day left before the engine arrives, Nakari asks Luke to relax in her room with her, and they're being
Ooh.
gross and cute. And Nakari
Ooh.
suddenly asks Luke about Leia and his feelings towards her. And Luke's
Oh
like,
no.
well, she's a princess and I'm a farm boy. And Nakari says, no, I'm not asking about that. I'm asking about your feelings towards her. I mean, it sounds like who you want and who you're with are two different things. And Luke's like, well, I'm just a farm boy. And Nakari's like, you're not just a farm boy, are you? You're hero of rebellion. You're destroyed the Death Star. And Luke manages to win Nakari back round by being like, well, I want to be with you. I'm not with Leia. And well, you see, you encouraged me to be better. And Akari's interested. Like, what do you mean? It's like, well, the Force helped me destroy the Death Star, and everyone's telling me what they want me to be. But you're trying to tell me who you want me to be. You're just helping me be me. You're helping me learn the Force. Like I couldn't move noodles 2 days ago, and now I can. Gee.
I'm sorry. You taught me all of the things that I know, including moving noodles. You named me Little Noodle Mover.
You made
Oh,
me this
no.
way.
You made me what I am today, and I will always thank you for that. I will always be your little noodle scooter.
This one's Nakari back round, and Nakari and Luke start talking about Vader. Another great turn on when you're in the hotel room together. And Nakari wants him dead before what happened to Mother, but Luke doesn't want Vader dead. Luke wants Vader defeated, and he makes that clear distinction. It's like, well, if I spoke to Vader, I could find out what made him turn to the dark side and know what to avoid. And Akari argues that there's no goodness in someone like Vader, and she tells Luke that if he ever meets Vader, he should ask him one simple question, a real test to see if anyone has humanity. Luke should ask Vader if he likes cake.
Wait, really?
If Vader says yes, it proves that Vader has eaten cake and therefore once had humanity. But if he says no,
What?
then there's nothing to salvage.
What the
Only a true
fuck?
monster would
Wait,
never like cake.
wait, what? So like, wait, so like, Rey has probably never eaten cake in her life.
Monster, get rid of her.
This is bonkers. Every single listen. All right, Nikari is incredibly attractive, and I know where Luke's coming from. He is thinking with his dick. She's very attractive, but however, the things that she says,
What if she said
she's
this wrong, Emily?
she's batshit insane. She's like, if you want to know if a person is truly an empathetic, like human creature, you have to ask it if it likes cake. I just don't. She's insane. I'm sorry. I love this and I love her actually, but like this is insane.
So prisoners, while they're waiting, one of them is just happy for his imprisonment. He's fed, he's entertained. Another one tries to escape, but R2 pulls out his new gun, just zaps him.
Go for you, R2.
Nakari and Luke the next day help Azor's crew remove the old engine and make room for a new one. And over dinner, Jerusalem and Luke discuss meditation. Jerusalem's like, they're given meditating experimental geometry, and she's talking about how maths connects the universe. Oh, that's interesting. Have I mentioned the Force? You see, I'm trying to become a Jedi, and the Force it also connects the universe.
Oh my god,
And
I've realised what the point of this is. Maths is the Force, isn't it?
no, because later in this conversation, Jerusalem points out that everyone can touch math. Math is a real whore. Anyone can get their hands on math. But the Force, only certain people can touch.
Wait, so for her, right? So she's just like, yeah, maths is the thing that binds the universe together. For me, it's a lot like the Force. And then Luke's just like, oh yeah, nice. And then she's like, but it's not the Force because only certain people can use the Force. Maths, however, is free. It's open source.
Yep. Hashtag
I
ProMaths Gang.
Pro Maths Gang.
This post is sponsored by your old math teacher. You know the one.
You know the one. Everyone does.
With the fuzzy hair and the glasses. You know the one.
Legit, I did have a maths teacher with fuzzy hair and glasses.
Yeah, you know the one.
I'm thinking of the one right now.
Anyway, Luke mentions his noodle moving, and Drusel gets out a noodle and asks Luke to move it, and closes his eyes, and he moves it better than he could move the last noodle. This one actually moves from point A to point B, and
Oh my god.
Drusel points out that wow, but you didn't move a noodle with your mind. That's impossible. You moved something else with your mind, and that moved the noodle. And with that in mind, she like explains the math to Luke, and then points at a fork in one of the bowls and asks him to move that. So he instinctively reaches up his hand in like the do a force motion. It's like, oh wow. So that's why Luke was doing the hand gesture at, uh, you know, back on Tatooine. It's because it helps you guide your mind to move the force, which then moves other things.
Oh my
And
god,
he
they're giving us
tries,
actual law reasons for the hand gesture.
and he tries, and he can't move it. And Drusel was like, "Hey, the Force is an unseen entity, so maybe having your eyes open isn't helping. Maybe you should close your eyes." So he closes his eyes, and he starts waving his hand around, and he loses focus when Nakari comes in and goes, "Oh my gosh, you're moving a fork, Luke!"
That's my little noodle scooter.
That's my little noodle scoot. She comes over and she's like, "Now you can move forks. Can you force feed me?"
What the fuck?
That's the joke in the book.
Wait, what? I don't want to unpack that. Can we move on from that? I'm uncomfortable with unpacking that joke. I don't want to go there.
With the Jaws repairs almost complete, Drusel comes over to let everyone know the good news. There's an Imperial blockade around the planet.
Oh great.
She argues that the best course of action would be to sell the Desert Jewel and to buy a cheaper ship, it has a working engine. They can get away quickly and they can get to the rendezvous and meet her family. Luke points out when they get to the rendezvous, they have to put up a fight, and he'd rather work for a ship he knows with weaponry that he paid for. Well, technically him and Akari paid for it, but rather than risk it all on some unknown piece of junk. And they agree that but if it's a blockade, they're not going to rush down here and start searching places. They'll leave tomorrow morning. And we'll take the Desert Jewel, and it will all be fine. So the next morning, Druce is just rushing home to eat their breakfast. She is so eager to see her family again. And before they leave, Azul comes over to tell them that he changed the ship's transponder code to that of a competitor's company. So when the Empire realized that that's the ship they wanted, they wouldn't come give him noise, they'd come give another competitor noise. and
Capitalism.
it's fine. And he's saying his goodbyes, and suddenly his head explodes because the prisoners have escaped with no one guarding them, and they went straight to the local bounty hunters, and they're trying to stop the given leading.
No.
So this guy's just dead.
Whoa.
The group managed to fight with the bounty hunters, get in the jewel, and get into the sky. But trying to get past the Star Destroyers, and Drusilla is kind of listening into the Star Destroyers. She's deciphering their messages back and forth. It's basically bureaucracy with like the leader of the blockade saying, "Hey, that ship's suspicious. We should put that in a tractor beam." And the guy in charge of the tractor beam are different things like, "I don't think we should be moving the tractor beam. I think we should keep the tractor beam where it is. Otherwise, we might let them slip by. This could be a distraction." But a third Star Destroyer is there just messaging with messaging with the company who's transponded the signal they're referencing, and the person in charge is like, "No, move the tractor beam." And Luke's just confused by all the back and forth talking. Like, he's like, surely the guy in charge is saying it's we should do it. And Akari points out that everyone is just making sure that on the record their opposition is heard for when it inevitably goes south.
I love
If
a
they
bit
are,
of like
if they are,
a
Romeo
bit
wants to be covered.
I love a bit of empire bureaucracy. It's so good.
And they've managed to find like a weakness in the interdictor's gravity well, so they can get past. But there's a countdown until they can go to hyperspace. Bruce was just reading out the comm back and forth. There's like a minute left, and Luke is stressing. He's like, wow, it's weird how when you're stressed, a moment can go on forever. And that's when Akari just starts complimenting Luke, like, hey Luke, you
Oh
look
god.
pretty fit in
Oh no.
in the cockpit of a starfighter.
Oh god.
Yeah, my little noodle scooter. Would you like to force feed me again? And
Why is she so horny? I don't
Luke
understand.
is transfixed by this. He's like, whoa. It's like, and they hit hyperspace because she was just trying to distract him and get his mind off the stress. They do 8 hours of micro jumps to throw off the Empire
God.
before they jump to the rendezvous on Omareth. And during these micro jumps and like the whole ordeal, Drusilla takes back every bad word she had for R2. He's actually a brilliant little droid, genius, great.
Thank you.
Don't know about
Thank
him.
you.
I thought you needed the plot development, but Drusilla and R2 are now besties.
Oh my god. That actually means a lot to me. Thank you.
They get to Omareth, which is a water planet covered in islands. They seem fine. They go to the planet's atmosphere, and suddenly a bunch of bounty hunter ships start flying after them. The new engine they have, it not being the perfect match, is like unbalancing the handling slightly and making it
Oh
harder to
no.
fight back. But luckily, the bounty hunters are infighting because they all want that sweet payout from Drusilla.
Cool.
Nakari manages to get the desert jewel near the surface, and they're flying towards one of the islands. But sadly, they're so damaged that the desert jewel goes down just off the shore and starts sinking. They get out, they get to land, but they've lost their ship. Not good.
That
There's all these
sucks.
bounty hunter ships fighting around them. They need to run into the woods and get cover. And they decided they should split up. Luke should take Drusilla and protect her with his lightsaber skills and the Force. Nakari will try and take the high ground with R2. If they land on the beach, they'll see the tracks. They won't follow the droids, so Nakari will be safe, and Luke will be able to draw them out. And as they're about to split up, Nakari and Luke just stand there staring at each other for a while, neither sure what to say. And
Oh
Drusilla is just
god.
so confused like this. She's like, are they broken? Do humans do this a lot?
I love
What
Drusilla. I love her.
what's happening here? Why are you not? And finally, Nakari walks over, kisses Luke on the cheek, and says, "Oh, tells him to be safe." And Juice was like, "Is that it? That was astonishingly straightforward. What's wrong with you humans? They go their separate ways." And
For
it's
her,
working
that was really
perfectly.
tame.
Yeah, I mean, Drusill's real love is math, and math can get real dirty, let me tell you.
Oh.
I can't wait for us to get to Thrawn books because I have a really, really, really horny Thrawn theory.
Oh, I
Um,
can't wait.
anyways, it's working perfectly. Luke's drawing out with bounty hunters, Nakari's taking him out with a sniper. It's all fine, and Drusilla turns to Luke like, "Hey, your mate is a really good shot." And Luke is disturbed by the use of the word mate. He's like, "Mate, can you call it anything else? Like, we haven't. I'd like to, but also grim. With more than that, it's emotional. But I would
Oh
like,
my
but
god.
and Drusilla again is like, I'm sorry, I don't know the intricacies of you humans and your, what you find perverse, what you like and don't like. It's all weird to me."
Yeah, leave her alone.
And Luke sees a bounty hunter with a grenade launcher has stopped trying after him. They're going straight for Nakari now, noticing that she's taking out most of the people. So he goes into a sense of meditation to try and work out where this guy is. He realizes there's two bounty hunters left, and Nakari is up there, and he's tracking him with force. And at the same time, Drew's is like seeing him and using math to work out where they're likely to be and telling him where to shoot. And he feels the grenade launcher go off, and he feels the grenades go, and he tries to use the force to move him away, but it doesn't work, and he feels an explosion,
Oh.
and he feels an absence in the force where the car used to be.
No.
And this absence fills with rage. And
Oh.
he feels the other hunter wants to, the hunters are after each other, and he wants to join the hunt. He managed to hold himself back, and he's scared, but he's not scared about losing the Kari at this point. He's scared about the feelings of rage inside him and how easy it's. He's scared because he feels powerful right now. He feels like he could take down all the bounty hunters by himself, and
Yes.
that's the biggest trip for him right now, for like power. So I
Yeah,
just
not
go back
not great.
down, has a breather, and Drusil's there like, oh, one of the bounty hunters killed the other one. The other one is by this bush, and it just turns around, shoots a bush. They're dead. It's like,
Oh.
okay, the desert jewel's gone. We need to go. We need to go to the beach, find one of the bounty hunter ships. You can hotwire it, and we'll be able to fly to the rendezvous. And Druce was there like, hey, but shouldn't we wait for Nakari? It just turns to like Nakari's not coming. And Druce like takes a moment
Ouch.
to process, and then she realizes, and it's for one time that she's seen, there's visibly been emotion on her face, and she's like really sad about this. But Luke's kind of like gone cold. Like he doesn't want to feel it right now.
Hmm.
So he goes to Bounty Hunter's ship. Bounty Hunters, one thing you know they're gonna have, body bags. So he takes a body bag while Druce was doing the slicing, gets Nakari's body, and he finds R2. Luckily enough, the new blaster R2 had installed has been destroyed, so that won't be in anything else. And as he takes his body bag back to the ship, he thinks about all the death in his life recently. His aunt, uncle, his mentor Ben, his best friend Wedge died on the not Wedge, Biggs died on the
Yeah,
Death
not
Star.
Wedge.
Wedge is also dead now for some reason. And now Nakari. He's thinking about all the things he didn't say to Nakari when he had the chance. Big
He didn't
regret.
even get to force feed her.
Yep, again. He flies the hunter ship to rendezvous sites, and he's almost shot down by the rebels because they recognize the ship as one of the bounty hunter ships that's been circling around for the last few days. He
Hmm.
manages to, get in contact with them, get the clearance codes, lands and meets Major Derlin. Major Derlin's extraction went well, but they were followed to Emerith by the bounty hunters, who laid siege on them. They managed to hold their own, so they knew that Druce would be coming in soon. So just waiting for Druce because that's the real package. For real, prize cow, so to say.
Don't don't talk about her like that.
For real, for real prime number.
Prime number. I like that actually. Yeah, that's a good one.
Drusil gets to meet her husband and two children again. She brings him over to like introduce him to Luke, and her son starts asking Luke a maths greeting question, but just like no, we don't need the pleasantries of this one. And Drusil gives the rebellion some information, a low-level Imperial encryption cracker, some search codes, for like Imperial fleet movements, and she then asks if she can just have a bounty hunter ship and go into hiding. And her and Major Drusil sort out Major Drusil? No. Major Derlin sort
She has had a serious promotion.
Drusil and Drusil They sort out a little dead drop thing so they can continue getting information from her in the future. And the last bit is Luke promises to become a Jedi to honor all that have died for him. And he thanks Nakari for showing what is possible without a teacher. And these were Luke's first steps into becoming a Jedi. The heir of a Jedi, so to say.
You might even say the heir of the Jedi. This is true.
So Emily, what did you think of this one?
I love this one. This one was really good. Um, I I especially I love how unhinged Luke and Nakari are. Oh my
It's Luke's
god.
first real crush, and
Yeah. He
and
didn't even get
Nakari's
to kiss on the
Nakari.
mouth.
Oh no, they think he wants to kiss her mouth. Sorry, I skipped over that bit.
Oh,
Call me a
did they?
prude. Call me a prude,
Uh,
but yeah, very mouth
you,
kissing.
s- you skipped over that bit, not the bit where she said, "Oh, Luke, I want you to force feed me."
Rape me. Look, I know what you need to hear. I know what you don't need to hear, Emily. I'm doing it for your own good.
Christ, you did it for my sake, truly. Um, yeah, it's a shame they had to. Well, they have to kill her because otherwise, she wouldn't have really had a place in the
Yep.
rest of the trilogy. Which
As I said, Luke definitely didn't get with what's her face from the Leia comic.
mm.
And this starts kind of Luke's legacy of bad love life, which I
To be
can't
honest,
wait.
even Legacy Luke also has this problem, but maybe he gets some in the end.
If Luke has a crush on someone, you're going to see a trend of him either dying or being gay. One of the two.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the gay ones. Hell yeah,
As in, lesbian.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I'm looking forward to that.
God, I wish Luke was gay. He'd have more luck.
It's the same. He's really gonna have a Steve Harrington moment, huh?
Yep. And, well, no. But, yep.
No, but yep. Yeah, I love Drusel. Drusel is
You
the
like
best.
woman?
Whoa!
Master
You like
Skywalker,
woman?
what are we going to do?
What the hell was that?
That was like a lightsaber doing some major spins as he kills the gays.
I don't know if it just sounded that way to me through the call or if it's going to sound that way on the recording, but that sounded like an insane noise.
It was me letting a crazy one rip. And now I'm going to pass it off with lightsaber noises.
Yeah, what you're gonna do is you're gonna edit a lightsaber noise, like a proper lightsaber noise over it, and
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
look like a crazy
what is
person.
that?
Yeah.
Never heard this noise before.
And everyone in the comments is gonna be very angry. But,
Oh wait, for people in the comments, I promised I'd mispronounce noodle scooter. Noddle Scottier. Luke
Luke
is a
Noodle Scotty.
little noddle Scottier. That goes out to our one listener. We love you.
We love you so much. You have no idea.
So you like Drusel?
I really liked Drusel. Drusel was great. A great addition, and I want Drusel and R2 to go on an adventure. I would like that. And yeah, I really like this book. It was a good one. It was action packed. It had horror elements. It had adventure. It had romance. What more can you ask for, Sam?
A lot. I don't know. Like I said, I've been through this book twice in prep for this thing. I've read it once before, and in the Star Wars fan community, it has a really bad reputation, and it's not that bad. It's written in this weird first person, so it's from Luke's perspective.
Yeah.
But the story beats are all there, but also I don't know. It's just painfully forgettable.
For me, I don't think I'll forget it in a hurry. I will say that. I don't
The
find it
best the
forgettable.
best parts are the meme bits like Noodle Scooter and Vader's many cosmetic parts.
Come on. Seriously, this book's worth it just for those alone. But
Worth the
for me,
price of
it'll always
admission.
be memorable. It is. I mean, Lost Stars, it ain't. but for what it was, I enjoyed it.
Look, I think when we've done this for a year, I'm gonna do a quiz and quiz you on the stories we've gone through. I'm gonna do that like
Oh,
yearly
oh, that would be really good, actually. I like that as an
to
idea.
see how long you remember it for.
My memory, um, you will know this about me. My memory is not very good.
Hmm.
It's bad. It's very, very bad. So that'll be very interesting to know.
Oh, it will be.
Ooh. Yeah,
Uh,
I give this one a pretty high score, actually. It was insane in all of the best
mhm.
ways. I'd give it like a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 noodles.
4 out of 5 noodles. Yeah, 4 out of 5 noodles scooted.
One of them's just still near the bowl. The other one's across the table.
Do you reckon Luke ever eats noodles now in the future and just a tear comes to his eye? He thinks about how he was Nakari's little noodle scooter.
I feel like for his own sanity, the only thing he can eat is rancor sauce. Anything else is too emotional for him.
He can have those rankles, that rankle sauce, and those buckwheat noodles are too much. So, oh,
I have this momentary panic that I didn't start recording again after a little hitch, but I did. So
oh, thank God.
that was terrific. Okay, before we end, last episode we're speaking about things coming this year in Star Wars, and one of the things mentioned was Star Wars Visions Volume 2.
Yes, it was.
Since then, we have had a list of the animation studios and the titles of their animations come out. And while most of these I haven't heard of, I thought it'd be fun to run through them quickly.
Yeah, I haven't heard about this. This is yeah. Let's go.
So, how many are there? I think there's 8. I'll go through them.
Okay.
We have
Yeah.
the story Sith by Al
Ooh.
Gori, and I couldn't find
Ooh.
anything on this animation studio, which is interesting.
That is interesting. Hmm. Well,
We
we'll
have,
have to see how that pans out.
I'm sure it'll be good, but
Yeah.
they haven't been involved in any big name projects from what I could find.
Okay, that's fair.
We have Screech's Reach by Cartoon Saloon, and Cartoon Saloon are the studio behind Wolfwalkers, Secret of the Crows, Song of the Sea, The Breadwinner, a bunch of good animation. Maybe Irish studio I was speaking about last time.
Yes, I've seen Song of the Sea actually. Yeah,
Hmm.
they're really
Really nice
good. I'm
style.
looking forward to that. Yeah,
Uh, we're getting In the Stars by Punk Robots. Again, couldn't find anything on the studio, but they have a great name.
they do. They absolutely do.
The next one's a big one for me.
Ooh.
It's a short called I Am Your Mother, and it's by the UK animation studio. The UK animation studio being Urban Animation, baby. It's happening.
Yo!
I manifested it into
Yo!
existence.
Oh my god, the Wallace and Gromit conversation we were having before recording has come full circle.
That was in recording last time. But yes, very excited.
Wait, that was in the recording.
Oh no, wait. We had a Wallace and Gromit conversation earlier today as well.
Yeah, we did. We
Oh
did.
no.
That was way before we started. Yeah, we've had
Oh
two
no.
Wallace and Gromit conversations.
I just like Wallace and Gromit, guys. I'm super excited for Aardman to do a Star War.
No, I'm very excited for this too. This is going to be awesome.
The next one, Journey to the Dark Head by Studio
Ooh.
Mir. And Studio Mir have done animation on Voltron, the Netflix one, Dota Dragon's Blood, and season
Ooh.
3 of Harley Quinn the Animated Series. So, a lot of
Okay.
variety. I could see the star going anywhere. I will note they seem to have a trend of like taking other people's styles and running with it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it doesn't give me an idea of what their own voice is going to be like. So I'm interested to see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, because I mean, with the nature of this, they don't have any source material to go off necessarily, if
Hmm.
you get what I mean, animation style wise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting.
The next one is The Spy Dancer by Studio La Cachette, who
Oh,
have worked on Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal, and I believe is that the guy who did Samurai Jack?
I don't know. I've never seen Samurai Jack.
Yep, it's the guy who did Samurai Jack. So we have links to someone who has worked on Star Wars before.
Okay. Yeah, sounds
Uh,
good.
and they also did the Love, Death and Robots short, Sucker of Souls, which I'm slowly trying to force myself to watch through Love, Death and Robots. It's a struggle. Most of them are bad. This one had really good animation, but an awful story. So
There's one episode of Love, Death and Robots. I think it might be the original series that I really love. Not to get too on off topic, but there's one that I really, really love on
which one?
there. That's it's called Sunny's Edge.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah,
Yeah, there we go. It's the oh, I'm
it's the
not going to
most
do any
Love, Death and
spoilers.
Robots episode of Love, Death and Robots. But
It
nope,
is.
it works for some reason.
You can really tell all the concept art for the characters was done by the guy who did the concept art for Dishonored, and you can really tell.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Again, it has the issue that a lot of Love, Death and Robots have, where I feel like that show should be called Sex, Blood, and Robots, because it's just overly violent and just drink every time there's nudity. But no, I
Lesbians
like that
everywhere.
one. The next one is called The Bandits of Galak by 88
Oh,
Pictures. Uh, I lovingly noted down that 88 Pictures do a lot of DreamWorks B-tier work, such as Fast and Furious Spy Racers and a Spirit TV show.
oh gosh. Listen, I'm not going to judge them on that.
I mean, I like DreamWorks, and I'm sure those shows are good.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't heard anything about any of them, so I guess I can't pass judgment.
The next one is The Pit by
The
Diot
Pit.
Shatijo. Shatijo. Oh god, this is the Korean one. I should have given you this name.
I would not
Diot
be any better.
Shatijo and Lucasfilm. And this company
Ah,
is known for a lot of anime cleanup work. So, you know, they clean up lines on things like One Piece,
mm.
I think they did Bleach, a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so that implies that they've had like a bit of a history as well. Then if they're working on. I mean, I know One Piece is still a thing.
Hmm. Yeah, they seem to still be doing things, but more long running. Again, excited
Yeah,
to see this one. And the last one is IU's Song by Triggerfish. And Triggerfish is the company who
I
do
know
all of
them.
the Julia Donaldson adaptations.
Yeah, I've heard of them before.
So I'm really interested if
Well,
they're going to go for that kind of computer generated 3D claymation style.
I'd like that. I think that would be good. Again, like anything to get a bit of variety in
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Season one was all anime houses, so it was all, you know,
Yeah.
2D sharp lines.
Mm.
And I want this one to just go mad. Go Bonzo
Same,
styles.
same, absolutely. I mean, obviously the standout for I think both of us is probably the Aardman one. That
Yep, can't
sounds
wait.
the best. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait.
I want a little
Um,
Aardman Porg.
yes. Oh my god. Oh, that would be so cute.
Just a
I will.
horrific little blob, and it opens its
Oh.
like circular mouth, which looks more like lips than a beak, and it has horrific teeth and just
Oh
squawks.
yes. I need that more than anything. I need you to know how much I need that in my life.
Here's my
What a
promise:
beautiful image.
if there's not an Aardman Porg in that shot, I will make an Aardman Porg out of putty.
Oh,
That is
I'll
my
hold you
promise
to
now.
that. Watch this space. You never know. Maybe Sam will post up on the socials a little Admin pork.
Speaking of the socials, if you want to get in contact with us, we have a Gmail, crashingthestarfighter@gmail.com, and we also have an Instagram at crashingthestarfighter.
Oh, segue. Beautiful
Hmm.
segue.
We're wrapping this baby up. The quiz question for this week, leading into the next comics we're doing next time. What is the Kessel Run?
Ooh. Okay.
Keep
What is
keep
the
your answer in your brain, and you can tell the beginning of next week. next week, next episode. I say next week, but we all know this is going to be a massive break between episodes again, because it
Yeah.
always is.
Don't say next week. They'll give them expectations.
I've been Sam, and I am Sam, and I will be Sam.
Always and forever. And I have been Emily, unsure about the future.
Remember to scoot your noodles when you can, and see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
I've forgotten what Star Wars music sounds like.
That's making it into the car.
It's been so long.
You're gonna have to go listen to
It's been so long, Emily. 1 second, I can do this.
Okay, I believe in you. I believe in you.
No, wait. Oh God, I can imagine. There's Luke. He's looking at twin sunsets. What does the music do?
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Okay, I've got this. I can
Okay,
do
you've
this.
got
Ready?
this.